I'm obsessed with Elizabeth Gilbert.
Me too.
She's like, to me, she follows me. I know. I got the follow last year. I had to go immediately to my messages and delete the like long thing I had sent her like 10 years ago because I didn't want her to see it. I was like, delete. And then, by the way, sent a new one being like, just deleted it. You know what I mean? And but I always say it's like, I am a gay man, but in my heart, I am a woman in her 40s who is like leaving her husband. Like I'm like getting a
you
divorce.
Are Elizabeth Gilbert
yeah,
in
I'm
your
always
heart.
like, this, I'm meant for more, and he's holding me back.
That is
like, I
so
really believe
funny.
that. Like, I'm like, I always say, like, I'm like walking into the mirror being like, he doesn't know me. It's like, I'm single. You know what I mean?
Your whole series on If I Was a Girl, when you do that laugh, it is so funny. And
That's
you
so
do
good.
that laugh in your stand-up too, I saw sometimes.
Yeah.
This like exaggerated like girl laugh.
Well, it's not even a girl. If I just, number one, it comes from podcasting too much. And like I was podcasting so much and I laugh a lot. And so when I do laugh, I just was throwing my head back to not laugh in the microphone. And so then now it's like part of my everyday like laughing structure is throwing my head back. But yeah,
it's so funny. I feel like I play a lot of like those characters on. That's like my demo of what I would play on TV. If I was a girl characters.
I love that.
And I feel like when I audition for them, I always do a thing where I'm like,
yeah.
I do that, and I was like, he's doing the thing.
That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Also, I just started making the videos, and then people told me what they liked about them. Like, I just left the laugh in because I was like, it's funny to me that I'm laughing in this. And now people will come to the shows and they'll be like, I love when you do the laugh, and I'm like, I just did an hour of stand up, but you wanted
just
the
want to hear me like
laugh,
throw my head back.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
On stage, I only do it if it's usually crowd work because I can't make myself laugh with the material because it's like I've already written it. It has to be like a surprise.
Yeah. You're so funny.
That's so nice of you.
Yeah, I really like your style. It's great.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
If you don't, this is Dylan Carlino.
Oh, hi.
I feel like he's a hilarious stand-up. He also has this like whole Instagram. That feels like people definitely recognize you from that.
Yeah, it
right?
really is crazy. Yeah. Sometimes the girls, I see them look at me and then they look for the birthmark on my face, which is thank God to like have that kind of
It's so
signifier.
funny. I feel like you're just like guy, but you have that, and like it's him.
I know. Well, yeah. I what's funny about the birthmark is I don't even think about it. Like my parents were so good about being like, who cares? Like no one brought it up.
I didn't notice it until you brought it up. Honestly,
in person, I swear, people say that to me all the time. They're like, I'll hang out with people like 3 or 4 times.
No,
they'll be like, oh my God, your birthmark.
It's also on the other side of your face, so people are going to have no idea what we're talking about.
Got into my head what side is on my face, couldn't tell you. I'm like, is it on this one?
Yeah.
Okay, gotta get it right. I get to live another day.
My husband has like a tiny little birthmark thing right here, I guess, and it's almost like a freckle. Like I don't know. I don't really ever see it, but my cousin's daughter was in love with him when she was like 4.
Hilarious.
And she was like, what's that? And he's like, oh, it's a birthmark. And she goes, that's okay. I still love you.
That's so
funny. It's like so true.
Is your husband like really hot?
He's very attractive.
Yeah,
He's European and
Whoa.
like very, well, I thought, I feel like I talk about this all the time. I thought I was going to marry a country singer from Texas.
By the way, you have that vibe. You have that Nashville vibe.
I know. I just went to Nashville for a week and I was like, because I grew up in Texas on and off, and then I lived overseas a lot, and then I married a man from Switzerland. I thought I was going to marry like a country singer, and my sister's like, he'll cheat on you, and I was like, yeah, but then I'll write a song about it.
Yeah.
That's what else could I dream of? And then I married my husband, who was like very refined Swiss man, and I was so like, I don't get this guy. I don't know, but I like him. He's nice to hang out with, but he wasn't like on my vision board,
Yeah.
So
also, you don't want to marry a country singer. They're like egomaniacs.
I know, but that's what I thought I wanted. That's what I was dating, a lot of egomaniacs. And then I met my husband, who's like nice, like he's funny, he's like quiet funny, he's like he's weird like me, like I was like, he's so fun. And then I had to like rewrite my whole brain when I met him, and it's better. But then I went back to Nashville for a week to do stand up in Nashville, and I got to perform at the Opry, and I like wore cowboy boots, and I wore some like sparkly denim jacket, I came back, and my husband and I were in the car talking about something, and I burst into tears, and I was like, I think I like lost my southern part of myself because I feel like
you're dressing a girl on a bachelorette trip.
Yeah. I went on my own grown-up bachelorette. I was like, I am from the South. I forgot that because I felt, not that I want to be Southern, but I feel really at home there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, but I'm still going to like vote differently, probably.
Yeah, thank God.
Than most people in Nashville. I'm sure not than everybody,
No,
but
Nashville
most
is
people.
weirdly Christian in a way that's like, I feel very proudly to say like scares me. Like the last time I was there, I was at Zanies and I was like, we were having the best time. And these people, these girls in the front, they were laughing so hard. It's like, we're having a good time. I was like, Christianity's fake. Room went silent. I was like, are you guys all Christian? Like a girl who was like, her and her boyfriend were crying tears. They like stopped and they looked so disappointed at me. And I was like, are y'all Christian? And everyone was like, yeah. And I was like, uh-oh.
I know.
Like, I'm scared.
I was raised like soup. I mean, you live in Texas, but you're not from Texas.
No,
so
I'm from the Berkshires. I'm from Massachusetts.
where people are like normal, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're normal, but
It's
they're
like different.
Yeah, like we're Catholic because we went to church every Sunday because like I'm from a town of 4,000 people. And if you don't go to church, like people are talking about like the Carlinos aren't at church. So it's really more about like appearances than it is a faith.
Yeah.
Like I asked my grandparents a couple of years ago, I was like, are you guys Catholic? They're like, no. I was like, why do we go to church? And they were like, it's just what you do.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's all about appearances. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like my family's like eccentric Christian. Like my mom's from like a Catholic family of 6 and in Texas. And then my husband's Jewish.
Oh my God, fun.
It's fun. It's like been like a real. And
were they not okay with it at first?
I think my family was okay with it because my husband is this weird thing where everybody falls in love with him instantly and they like him more than me, which is annoying. But
is it the accent?
He doesn't even have an accent anymore. He speaks like 4 languages, but he speaks them all as if that's his first language. Like he speaks English as if it's his first language.
I actually hate that.
Yeah.
I can't speak any other language. I'm like genuinely dumb, but I'm like, oh God.
But then when he's around people he's like a chameleon. When he's around people who speak French with a French accent, if they're speaking English with a French accent, he'll start to be like, okay, so do you guys want to go see the Hollywood sign? And I'm like, wait, what? I've never heard you talk like this.
That's crazy.
Before. Yeah, he just like kind of adapts to what he's like. I don't want to make them feel bad that like, I think it's a weird thing that people do sometimes.
Yeah.
Where you start speaking, like, if I go to the South, I start speaking more Southern.
It's like the old, like 2006, like I'm ordering Chinese food. Why am I doing the accent? Like, which I don't think that joke is allowed anymore. But like, I feel like that was a huge joke in 2008.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's that. But it's French, so it's still allowed.
Yeah. We made it white.
Yeah,
but
the white versions
The white
are
version
allowed.
of it, yeah.
Yes. He'd have a hard time if he was Chinese. Yeah, that's so funny. But I do feel like, I don't even know what I was talking about, but being in the South must be crazy for you now. But
I'm in Austin.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. It's like, I love Austin. I think it's so beautiful. And the people are, I hate to be like this. If anybody's from Austin listening to this, they're going to be like, fuck you. But so many people have moved there that it's like, it's kind of a transplant city now.
It is. I feel like people in LA, like I know writers who have like moved there, but haven't told people they've moved there. Only their friends know just because they're like, career-wise, nobody can know, but I live in Austin now.
Yeah.
Straight up sold my house and bought a house in Austin.
It's really beautiful and it's really nice. And I really like it. I mean, being here in LA has been like a mind fuck for me where I'm like, oh my God, why is it so, it takes forever to get everywhere.
How long? So you're here for Netflix as a joke fest.
Yeah.
But how long have you been here for?
Oh my God, I'm losing track of days. So I think 4 days.
Okay.
But I came right off tour so I was like in the Mall of America on tour. And so at the worst club in America. And genuinely, I think people talk about it constantly. I didn't realize it. And so like the hotels in the mall, the clubs in the mall, like I didn't leave the mall for like 38 hours at one point. Because
I've never been there. And I always talk about how I'm like, I got to go experience the Mall of America.
You're going to be so let down. It's genuinely a mall with like multiple of the same stores. Like they had like 3 Bath and Body Works. And I was like, it's not that big. And so it's like, why do you have 3? And it's mostly just like a shitty rides in the middle. I thought it was going to be like beautiful.
That's so funny that you thought it was going to be beautiful.
I don't know.
I thought it was going to be like beautiful. I feel like I'm going into it with like, this is going to be like a shit show mall experience. I do think if we had gone when we were 15, it would have been, the mall was like the big thing back then. I think the mall is just so sad now.
It's so
even
sad.
the Mall of America is sad.
Yeah.
It's just like we all got this stuff online.
For sure. I actually am afraid to buy stuff online.
You are?
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm like weird about buying clothes. Like I like only kind of wear merch. Yeah,
cool.
which is
That's cool.
I guess but I don't do it to be cool. I genuinely am like, I go to a store and I'm like, my body's not made for shirts, and like that's just that.
I feel you. I'm also like the size of a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to order things online. I do like a thing where I can send them things back and stuff.
Well, that's the main problem.
Which is fun, but this is like, yeah, if I'm
I'll
not the
never
right
send
size.
it back.
Yeah.
I bought 2 things at the Mall of America. This is humiliating. So I went to an Old Navy because I was like, and I never shop at Old Navy. And by the way, if you shop at Old Navy, like shout out, whatever. And so I tried
They have some good stuff sometimes.
Yeah. And I was like, I had been in the mall for 30 hours. I was going like literally, I was like, I couldn't see. I was walking around. I was like only eating Dunkin' Donuts from the mall and like walking around over looking for like guys to hook up with. And I was like, God, they're all disgusting.
In the mall.
In the mall. I was like, there's got to be some
funny.
dads here that are trying to
Like hook up at the mall.
Yeah. Men are disgusting, sweetie. Okay?
I know.
And so
I found out we have like, okay, keep going.
well, by the way, the Mall of America is like a hot spot, and I don't do things like this, but the Mall of America is a hot spot for like guys jerking off in the bathroom.
No way.
It's
It's like a known thing.
And I wouldn't do it because I have too many Instagram followers to be caught jerking off at the mall. But I like,
doesn't everybody have too many Instagram followers to be caught, even if you only have 600 to be caught jerking off at the mall?
For sure. I think if I was a different person, I could be caught jerking off at the mall. You know what I mean?
Okay,
I could.
yeah, if you-
A little Pee Wee Herman type situation. But I went to like Old Navy because I was like, I have to get some. I was like, I need a shirt, and I don't know why. And I like tried 2 of them on in the dressing room, and I was like, oh my God, these look incredible. I was like, this is great, amazing. I go back, I know what I'm wearing at my show tonight. I go to get ready for the show. I put them on. Like something happened to the material in those 2 hours where it like changed DNAs. And now I'm trying it on. It looks so bad. I've never seen an uglier shirt. I've never seen an uglier shirt. I don't know if Old Navy had like skinny mirrors or what.
I think maybe your brain got warped from being in the mall for 30 hours.
I think so. But my point is like, I didn't even bring it back. I just left it in the hotel room. I said, throw it away. I'll never return anything. Like if you send me something on Amazon, like it's mine forever. Like even if I don't wear it, I'll never return it.
That is so funny.
And I know people are like, just go to Whole Foods. They have the boxes or whatever. I'm like, I'm not going to the boxes.
It is a pain in the ass to return things. It's like you have to have a whole system if you're going to be able to return things.
I can't.
I know. I feel like sometimes I do. I'm like a 50-50. I'm like, if it's over a certain amount of money, I won't. Like if it's under $20, I'm definitely not returning it. I'm giving it away to somebody. And if it's over, I'll consider how easy it is to return.
Yeah. I also get into this crazy like bad body issues, eating disorder mindset where I go like, oh, if I like it but it doesn't fit, I go, ooh, motivation shirts. You know? like there has been times in my life where I have like 12 motivation sweat.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, we got to get rid of the motivation shit.
That is so funny. I do feel like I'm somebody who gets rid of stuff really easily.
Same.
I don't like having shit around.
Oh, I'll throw everything in my house away and be like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Every move I go through, I throw it away.
I'm like, unless it's, so I feel like now I've created a life for myself where everything I have, all my clothes, I like deeply love them.
Yeah, I love that.
And when the fires happened, like we weren't in an evacuation area, but like they were just starting everywhere and we live in the hill and like, it was so windy and my baby was really little at that point. And I was like, I just don't want to have to wake the kids up at 4 a.m. to be like, we actually have to leave. Like, let's leave before we have to leave. And then everybody's like, pack a suitcase. And I was like, I love all of my clothes so much. So I packed pretty much all of my
Good
I'm
for
also
you.
like not a normal size person.
I love
so
that.
I'm like to find clothes that fit me properly. It's not like I can shop like on a whim, like you're saying, you know?
Yeah,
like my
same.
shoes are so small and like I'm just like everything.
And we're the inverse of each other because my shoes are so big. I wear a size 15. I can't get them anywhere. I'm right there with you. I'd be like, please, someone grab my stuff.
I feel like my husband always is like, you're just trying to get well known enough that companies will start making custom shoes for you and sending them to you. I'm like,
that's
goal. All I want is somebody to be like, we will make it in your size, whatever you want.
I want to be so well known that I have such like a close relationship with my stylist where like I'm in interviews being like, well, you know, Sherry and she's been with me for 100 years and we're best friends. And you know what I mean?
I know, totally. I know.
I want like a trusted relationship with a stylist who I'm like, this person knows
who knows
my body.
your soul and like knows what would feel good on you, look good on you.
Yeah, like right now I'm wearing Maggie Rogers merch, and that's because and I love Maggie Rogers, but she put all of her merch for $10 a couple of weeks ago, and I've been to all of the concerts, but I just started having money now, and so I bought 10 shirts. And, and so I basically like every day of the weekend was wearing a different, I look psychotic. So if like she ever saw any of this, I'm sure she'd be like, get a restraining order against that guy. But I
like that. That's like your vibe now.
Yeah. Everything's merch. I'm just like, I go to concerts, I get merch, I go, weirdly, merch fits me the best, genuinely. But no, I'm with you.
So funny. I feel like I got a stylist to help me for the Nashville, for doing the Opry.
Oh yeah.
Like I have a stylist I've used like a few times. And then I was like, you know what? I want to start using her like all the, I feel very attached to my clothes and I have like a specific style, but if she can like add something to it and she can get my style and add something to it, I'm like so down for that. And I was like, okay, basically my vibe is I'm one of you, but not. Like everything I do.
Oh, I
feel like that's like, I realize that's my style. That's how I feel about stand up. I'm like, I'm one of you, but not.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about like, that's what I want to talk about. That's why I love your like, the girl thing so much because I have I look so girly. Like I look so like I would be one of those
Dallas
girls.
Cowboy cheerleader. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like I was a cheerleader forever. And like I just feel like I've never felt like I am that. Like even having a baby shower to me, like or going to it feels so dumb. It feels so girly that I was like, I'll have a party like with guys too. And I really wanted to have a keg at my baby shower.
I love that. I
wanted it to be a Hoes and Bros like baby shower. And my friend who threw my baby party lives in Joni Mitchell's old house in Laurel Canyon. And I was like, I think we can have a Hoes and Bros keg party at Joni Mitchell's old house in Laurel Canyon.
I get that. I mean,
I was just like, I don't want to be like the normal thing.
100. Well, I'm from a place where like we're truly like white trash, which I love. And but I remember like people were having like bachelor and bachelorette trips. I remember my best friend Nissa, her older brother and his wife, they had what they called a Jack and Jill, where like they had kegs. It was at the Pavilion in Tyringham, Massachusetts, and I was like 17 years old drinking. I mean, we were having a good time, right? And I was like, that's fun. It was basically like a pre-wedding before the wedding, and you get to like go out and get fucking hammered. I was like, I mean, I don't drink anymore, but I would. Yeah. It's great. Everyone's so. I agree with you though. Like baby showers, I have so many girlfriends. I love them so much. Yeah. But I am not. I just had my first bachelorette trip for my friend who's getting married in a couple of weeks. And I'm like, I'm not built for this. I'm actually not built to be like in a house filled with girls getting ready to go out they're all wearing like matching outfits. I showed up to the restaurant wearing white. I didn't know. And they were all like, you're wearing white. It was me and the bride and everybody else was in lime green. I was like, they're like, you're wearing white. And I go, it's not the wedding. You know, I turned into that girl being like, it's not the wedding. Like, what are you talking about?
You're like, it's not the wedding.
yeah. And they were like, literally, she was like, go change. I was like, oh my God.
I know. Yeah. Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. I showed up to my bachelorette and cried on the bed in the room with one of my friends because I was like, I don't think I'm made for this and I don't think I can be what people need me to be and I'm afraid I'm not going to be like enough because I'm not that. And they're like, no, these are all your best friends, we know you're not that.
I know.
So then it was fine because I was like, I'm not going to be the one who's like, you wear this, you wear that, you do this, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I try to be as helpful as possible. I was like, be as helpful as possible. Like, give everybody rides, do this because I don't drink either. So they're like all hammered. Or like they have there's a picture of me on the back of the party boat we were all on in Lake Travis, and like these girls
is like
are
a Texas Bachelorette.
Yeah. Oh
these
yeah.
are like all the girls I went to high school with.
Same. They all all the girls from Massachusetts all flew down to Texas, and then we all went on this bachelorette trip. They are twerking on this party bus, on this party boat in the middle of Lake Travis, shaking their ass. There's a whole video where they like pan to me, and I'm like sitting in the back in my sweatshirt with like my legs crossed, staring at the water, and they're like, "We don't think Dylan's having fun." I'm like,
that is so funny.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah,
it's a lot. I don't like those types of things, but that's just. I think also, you know, when you do stand up, it's like we get attention,
and we feel like every night of our life is going out.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, what is fun and exciting is not going out.
Today I was like, I don't have shows tonight. I can get into the tub at the hotel.
Yeah, it's just like I'm gonna go to bed early.
Yeah.
I'm turning 40 this year.
Really?
I haven't talked about it on the podcast. Thank you. That's exactly the reaction I want.
Yeah, of course.
I've done a few jokes about it, but I won't ever post them yet because I'm like, I still have a little bit of like, this is going to ruin my career. Because I still have a little bit of actress brain.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
like, you're not allowed to be 40, but stand up, it doesn't matter. But I feel like I have a joke that is like pretty dark that I'm also like, I don't know how this will go over on the internet, but everybody's like, what do you want to do for your 40th birthday? And I'm like, I don't want to have like a big to do. I want to like just do something alone with my husband without my children.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I never get to do now. I feel like I see
Do you have a
people
nanny?
all the time. Yeah, we do.
Thank God.
We do have a nanny. She's amazing. And I'm
She walks
so
in
lucky.
at Sydney Sweeney. I'm like, sweetie. Sorry.
No, I'm like, I won't hire a white girl nanny. I don't know if we should cut that.
All they're going to be doing is texting. Are you kidding? Have her boyfriend like Jerome over. We're like, get out of here.
Exactly. My when I was interviewing nannies for my daughter when she was a baby, this girl came over and she was like a white girl, and she's like, these were the two white girl interviews. One girl was like, okay, so I can also sell all your clothes on Poshmark.
She's like, steal your shit.
No, I don't need anyone to sell my clothes on Poshmark. And then
That's nothing about childcare. That's hilarious. Oh my God.
This other girl goes, so do you want me to play with her or just let her, or not? Like, don't play with her, let her play on her own. And I was like, ideally play with her. If not, she could just like sit in her room. Why am I paying you?
Yeah, that's crazy. No, if I would have a Russian woman.
Do you want me to play with her or not?
Yeah,
a Russian woman.
I would have like an old Russian woman who like is making soup. You know what I mean? Like you come home and she's like, I made soup for the family. There's enough soup for like 6 weeks. Like that's what I want to work with.
I feel like I had also interviewed an Italian nanny who was basically trying to be my mother and tell me how to like, she like all of a sudden got me like cooking something. And I was like, I don't even cook. Why am I like cooking to try and impress this nanny? And then she's like, should we go on a walk with the baby? And I was like, sure. And we're leaving and she's like, do you want to bring the dog? We should bring the dog. And I was like, I don't want to walk with my baby and my dog right now. And I'm like on a walk with my baby and my dog. And I was like, I can't hire you.
Yeah.
I was like, you're going to make me do things that like I do not want to do.
It's like Sex in the City when like the cleaning lady who then becomes her nanny finds the dildo in her side table and replaces it with a Bible. And it's like, hey, know your place, bitch. Know your place.
Exactly. I'm like, I just need somebody to like do the things I can't do when I'm not here. And like, you know, whatever. Yeah. So my nanny now is amazing. Like, so love her so much. Wait, so I did read something that really, that you went on a Eat, Pray, Love. Did you go on it? Is this true?
So it's not that I went on an Eat, Pray, Love thing. So I'm obsessed with Elizabeth Gilbert.
Me too.
She's like, to me, she follows me. I know. I got the follow last year. I had to go immediately to my messages and delete the like long thing I had sent her like 10 years ago because I didn't want her to see it. I was like, delete. And then, by the way, sent a new one being like, just deleted it. You know what I mean? And she did respond and she was very, very sweet.
I think she's like changed my life twice. Both
Same.
of her books that I read. Like,
did you read her newest one?
I haven't read her newest one yet.
It's really, really, All the Way to the River. It really is. It's probably the most honest of all of her. I mean, like it's actually so honest. I think it's uncomfortable to read for most people because she's being very honest in a way that's like, it's very dark, but it's I think it's great.
I love that. I'm excited to read that.
Yeah,
I love that kind of honesty.
Same, me too. And so I read Eat, Pray, Love when I was like 17. And then
oh my gosh.
And so, but then I got really, really depressed after high school because I think I thought like something will happen, but I in high school was like drinking and like not, my sister died when I was 13. So I kind of didn't care about school. Of course.
Was she older or younger?
She was 5. And
oh
so
my God, I'm so
she had
sorry.
cortical dysplasia and like brain surgeries. And so she passed away when I was 13 in 8th grade. And then, you know, a friend committed suicide. And so a couple months later. And so I was like, who gives a fuck about school? Like, I was just like, this means nothing to me. Nobody gets me here. And so I just didn't do the homework. I mean, like my senior year, I was at like but I still thought I was going to college. Like I think I had a 1.0.
You know?
Yeah. I like couldn't get into college, and then I got stuck in my hometown, and I was like, I don't know what to do, and so I just like got drunk and gained like 300 pounds, and I was 400 pounds at one point, and so yeah. So I got real big, like with like food addiction stuff, and I was really depressed, and I was like living in my hometown still.
Were you living with your family?
I was living with a friend's mom.
Okay.
But it was like for $150 a month, and we were like smoking cigarettes in the house. And
I love it. I mean,
I did. I would wake up, lay in bed, just smoking cigarettes, and she'd be like, "Dill, do you want breakfast?" You know, like it was a real psycho situation.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like working at a gas station. And I was listening to Elizabeth Gilbert on podcasts a lot. And I've been doing stand-up a little bit in my hometown, and I became so obsessed with it. And I just remember her being like, she just saved my life in the sense of like getting out of depression. And I like started working out and like really taking care of myself. And I was like, I really have to like get this together to do this. And I went to a creativity workshop with her and her partner Rhea.
Wow.
And it was during my birthday, like on Mother's Day, in the town next to my town. Like I'm from a really rural part of Massachusetts. And so I was like, this is crazy. Her partner's dying. And it changed that weekend. Like I think what my mom paid for it was like $500, and we like don't have money. So I'm like, this is a big deal. And I ended up just like, that weekend changed my life. And then 6 months later, I had lost like 100 pounds. I had saved up like $5,000, and I moved across the country to Oregon because of it, to like go full out on stand-up comedy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so it wasn't like you were in India on an Eat, Pray, Love, but you were like with Elizabeth Gilbert, which is even, that's so cool.
Yeah, and it just changed my life.
I feel like I read her book. I was probably like I don't even know when it came out, like early
odds.
I think when I read it, I was like 23. I lived here already. And I had like a really bad eating disorder in college. And when I got here, I was like, I'm going to get over it. And I did. And then I also read her book, and then I started meditating a lot. And like, I feel like I was raised so Christian that I also was in a place where I was like, I had gone to church once in LA, and like the pastor at church like had tattoos, like full sleeve, full everything, you know, it was called Reality LA.
Oh
and
my
like,
God.
It was like the most LA church.
Yeah.
My grandparents made me say I'd go to church if I moved here. And I went, and I was like in this phase where Brittany Spears was there with her dad one time with a shaved head, like right after she had shaved her head. She sat in the back, and I remember I was like doing the offering, and I like had to like get money from Brittany. She was like not happy to be there, clearly. And but I like had this moment where I was like, I gotta get out of here. And I like ran out of the church. I just was like, I don't think I belong here. And then I like started reading other things, and especially that book too. I was like, there's so many other ways to feel like connected to something other than yourself. And I was raised in like such like a religious, like where I had no connection to anything. I just like knew things, but I didn't feel anything. And like, I don't know, I just feel like it really made me be like, oh, okay, we don't have to do things the way they've always been done. And it like changed my life in that way.
I love that. It's incredible. That's the thing about religion. People are just so crazy about it, and they think if they're like extra crazy with their kids, like they're gonna make like a true believer. I actually think that if you were a lot lighter about it and chiller about it, like people would probably feel way stronger about it. But people are so crazy about it that then they have like mental breakdowns, and they're like 36, and they're like, I'm gonna kill everybody at the school, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's like
lot.
so intense. I know.
But I always say it's like I am a gay man, but in my heart, I am a woman in her 40s who is like leaving her husband. Like I'm like getting a divorce.
You are Elizabeth Gilbert.
I'm always like this. I'm meant for more, and he's holding me back.
That is
like I really believe
funny.
that. Like I'm like I always say like I'm like walking into the mirror being like, he doesn't know me. It's like I'm single. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I feel like, so I come from like so much divorce, and my husband has like no chaos in his life.
That's good.
He comes from like two parents who actually really love each other and are really like each other still
Never
to this
seen
day.
it.
Just like two kids. They like, I feel like I used to joke, they're just like would argue about like where to make a reservation for dinner.
Hilarious.
And I would be like, when is somebody gonna like flip the table at dinner and like storm out or like threaten to cut all their hair off at the dinner table?
No, literally,
when is that gonna happen?
Literally, there was a video on Instagram of this. It was like a skit of like a family, like the parents like busting open their kid's door in a huge fight and be like, "Look what your mother's doing!" And as a joke, I sent it to my brother because I was like, "This reminds me of something." And I sent it to my brother, and he immediately responds. He goes, "Spot on." And I go, "Okay, I'm not crazy." The next day, my sister sends it to me, and she goes, "Us." Like I was like,
my gosh.
like all independently sending the same video. I was like,
so
"Okay,
We're on to something
yeah,
here.
like we all remember this."
Yeah.
Okay, good. Independently.
That is so funny. I know. I feel like my husband never spoke back to his parents, never raised his voice. Now we have like a 6-year-old daughter who's always just like every single second she's speaking back to us, and he doesn't like, he's like, I don't know. I'm like, she's just like a girl, like growing up, you know?
Honey, she's a girl in LA.
She's a girl. I know, that's also true. She's like, I need a baked crab hand roll right now for dinner. If I don't get one, I'm going to throw myself down the stairs. Just like that. I mean, that is pretty spot on accurate.
I love that though. I love dramatic children. I think they're so funny and like that's how it should be. But no, I mean, I was talking back.
Oh, I was arrested 3 times in high school.
Really?
I used to, yeah. I had like I grew up moving a lot, and like we lived in South.
Were your family like army?
My dad works in oil.
Oh,
so I was born in Alaska.
Like really rich.
I mean,
by the way, I love that. Sorry if it's inappropriate to bring up.
My dad also hid all his money in my parents' divorce, so I did not grow up like that.
Of course.
In Switzerland, probably, which is when I met my husband, I was like, the only thing I know about Switzerland is it's where my dad hid all his money in my parents' divorce. I was like, it feels like life comes full circle, you know?
Yeah. That's so good.
That's the only thing I know about this place. No, I think that, we did have money at my dad's because we were expats when we lived overseas and stuff, but we had like a live-in housekeeper, but she was like our best friend.
Yeah, she was like your family.
She was a 16-year-old like best friend who like braided my hair and like hung out with, you know, and then we had.
It sounds like she was fucking your dad. I'm gonna be honest with you. She was my 16 best friend. He's in the Swiss. Like,
yeah, probably. I never thought about that. And honestly, I feel like I have like zero reaction to that, and that makes me feel like I've done a lot of therapy on myself.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
just like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That could be. That is so funny. I can't wait to tell my sister that one time. If we ever talk to each other again. Okay,
are you guys not friends?
Me and my sister aren't talking right now, but that's
like Hillary and Haley.
Yeah, that's why I feel comfortable to start talking about it now because Hillary's talking about it.
I know.
She wrote a song about it. And then I was like, I feel like everybody who's not talking to their sister thinks they're Hillary in the situation.
For sure. Yeah. I'm like, babe, you're Haley.
I'm like, she's Haley, I'm Hillary.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's Haley, I'm Hillary.
Yeah.
So, anyways, But basically we lived, I don't even know what I was talking about, but we lived in a really dangerous way. So like I heard bombs go off when I was
in
like.
Swiss?
No, in Colombia. I didn't ever live in Switzerland. My husband did. I lived in Bogota when like Pablo Escobar was bombing everything. And then I like got to I think I'm talking about why I got blackout drunk all the time. I think I just like had all this stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't have like
girl
this
that,
normal.
Gets kidnapped.
Yeah. I've always thought I would get kidnapped, which is like my number one fear in life. Same. And that's my turning 40 joke is I realized one night, because everyone kept asking me how I was feeling about turning 40. And one night I went to the grocery store after a show and I went to get my mace out of my bag because I was in a parking lot alone. And I thought like, I think I'm good. And that's when I realized like, oh, that's how I feel about turning 40. I'm not going to get raped in a parking lot anymore. I'm not going to get kidnapped.
Yeah, that is nice. You can't be sex trafficked.
It's nice and also like sad at the same time.
Yeah, they're like, she's unsellable.
I know. And then I did ask my husband like which one of my friends he thought could still get
That's the same thing as being like, which one of my friends do you want to have sex with?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. Which one of my friends do you think still looks young enough to get raped in a parking lot? It's terrible, but like we all want to be on the list.
Of course.
Of course. We all do. I feel like, anyways. So
the misconception about rape, it's usually someone you know. Yeah. Yeah, okay, good.
And I don't really drink that much anymore. When did you stop drinking?
I stopped drinking 4.5 years ago. But I was like, I really, during the pandemic, like really cranked up the alcoholism to the point where I was like, well, we've gone too far. You know, it's like, yeah, I had to stop.
Okay.
Well, I also know, like, I don't know, because I don't know if you've ever heard this, but like people who like lose a lot of weight usually turn into alcoholics.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like
Because
a
you're not fixing the
replacement?
problems. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just out. Now I have a different eating disorder. And I was like only eating broccoli and working out twice a day. And I was
I
like,
went through that phase too.
yeah. And I got really skinny. But by the way, I was like at my skinniest. I was like, oh, why am I so fat? I look back at pictures. I'm like, you're crazy.
I know. Eating
it sucks.
disorders suck so much. When I had the height of my eating disorder, I was only eating broccoli. I was in college.
It is good though.
Mine was not. I was eating microwave steamed broccoli, like frozen broccoli. Okay. With melted cheese on top occasionally. If I felt like
Wow, you're so similar.
We're the same but different. I feel like but I did get in one time and I was drinking vodka and Diet Coke only.
Ooh, I was drinking Jameson.
Okay.
You get really drunk when you're only on broccoli.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And I would kind of just get like drunk to pass out so I wouldn't eat anymore.
We are so similar. You know what my problem is? I would get drunk and then it would be like, you can have food. And then I would and then I would binge because I was and so then I would go to the place across the street called, oh my God, what was it called? I don't even remember. It was like a Mexican place that was open 24/7. So you really had to get drunk quick or I'd go over there and I'd stumble over Muchas Gracias in Portland, Oregon.
Of course, it's called in Oregon.
Yeah.
The Mexican capital of the world, Muchas Gracias.
I would walk over there and get the chicken fajita burrito and muchas fries, which were tater tots with sour cream and cheese melted on top. And so then I would wake up in the morning and sometimes I'd get too drunk before I could eat it. And I'd be like, oh, amazing. And then I'd wake up in the morning so hungover and I'd eat it in the morning.
Okay.
I have food issues.
I mean, I feel like most people do.
I know. People don't talk about them though.
It's so hard not to raise kids with them. I'm trying so hard to figure it out. Because I feel like I would get really drunk and then I would eat peanut butter, and I have like so many pictures of me in college, like bento, like cheerleading, like on cheerleading trips, just like eating peanut butter.
Hilarious.
That was like my drunk food or something.
Yeah.
Or occasionally I would eat a sugar-free Pop-Tart.
You were strict. I
was strict. I was really strict.
Even drunk, because when I got drunk, I'd be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
No, not you. You were like, I'm doing this.
I remember the one thing that right before I moved here, I got in a moped accident and I was moving apartments. I went to college in Hawaii on this cheerleading scholarship, and I was like height of my eating disorder, drinking so that I could like not eat, all the things. I was on my moped moving from one apartment to another, and it was I had to move everything on a moped, which is also like wild to do like 1,200 trips on a moped.
Yeah.
And then I was wearing a mini skirt and heels because I was going to a going away party.
I love that. On your moped?
On my moped. The only thing I had in my cheerleading bag on the floor of my moped was a freezer full of frozen broccoli that I was moving from one house to the other house. I feel like I've never talked about this, but you will get this so intensely. I got hit. So an SUV, I was here, and a huge SUV turned into me, didn't see me, and I flew over the hood of the car.
Whoa.
And landed in the street. And like I had my laptop in my backpack and it was completely crushed, and I also wasn't wearing a helmet, but there was frozen broccoli everywhere. My moped was like destroyed and the street was just like filled with frozen broccoli. Like the bags explode. It just was crazy.
That's so funny.
And it was like such a low.
Yeah, it's humiliating. Everyone's like, what is this girl with the eating disorder with all of her frozen broccoli doing in the street?
Yeah, and like also, a teeny mini skirt that's made for like a 5-year-old because she's so small.
And they're like, why are they even making mini skirts for 5-year-olds?
Yeah.
Like,
I know. And I do remember being like, well, one, as I was flying through the air, I was like, I think I'm going to die right now. I had that like thought, you know? And then the first thing I did was, as I was laying in the ground, I checked my face to make sure my face was okay, which is like so vain.
Yeah.
So vain.
When I was drinking, I fell off. I talk about this on stage sometimes, but I accidentally threw myself off like the top of a hill of my mom's house. Like it's more of like a cliff. It's like really, really steep. And I couldn't stop myself. I thought I was gonna die too because I was like flying in the air and and that would hit the ground, it fly back. It was it was bad. And the first thing I did was check to make sure my teeth were still in.
Yeah, I mean we're all so vain.
Yeah,
it's like you think
bad.
you're not, but like
also your story. you know what it reminded me of? Did you ever see that show, which I actually thought was an incredible show, although I think people now would be like it was insensitive, is Drop Dead Diva.
Oh, yeah.
The first episode, the model, it's like the whole premise is she gets hit by an orange truck and killed, goes to heaven, comes back to earth as a fat woman. And the whole episode is like, my life sucks now. You know?
Yeah.
But actually, it is a good show.
It is a good show.
And actually, I think it had a good message of being like,
yeah,
being big's okay, but people are like, this is so vain. I'm like, I liked it.
I liked it too. And then I feel like now everybody's just like, I felt like we were like really in a good body positivity moment. And then Ozempic came out and it's over.
Yeah. And that's okay.
That's fine. I feel like take care of yourself, do what you need to do for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the shot. I should get on the shots. I want to. I just kind of like think about food so much, and people say it helps.
Oh, it does help. Like erase that. I feel like I did some course so I read a book that said like 98% of people don't. I've talked about this before. Recover from an eating disorder, and I was like, watch me, because that's how competitive I am. And so then I was like, I will recover from this eating disorder, and I really do feel like I don't. It's been like years. Like I don't think I would even be able to talk about it if I didn't really feel like it was not part of my life. That's
fantastic. Because a lot of it really does plague people for their entire lives.
Yeah, it does. And I'm just like now raising I have a 6-year-old and like all this stuff, just like trying so hard to be like, how is this not going to get her or my son at any point? Because I feel like it gets everyone at some point.
I think though with like kids, it's like, I don't know. It's usually when, I think it really comes out if they gain a lot of weight. And then the mom's like, ooh, diet time. I also grew up in a house where it was like, and I love my mom so much, but we were all fat. And she was like, whoever loses 50 pounds first gets a shopping spree. So it's like, that's really
so funny. It was like a competition.
Yeah. We were like Weight Watchers. She's like, look how many points you get.
That's
I was like,
so funny. I know my mom was always on a diet too. And I was always small, but my mom was always on it. We were just like, and my mom's small, but there was just like a diet culture.
It's a control thing.
Yeah, it is a control thing. And I feel like it's what you're saying is like, if you can't fix like the issues underneath, you're always going to have like something to numb it or like push it down.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is not a therapy podcast, but
I love it.
But I do feel like you lost so much weight. Was that just like a total mind fuck to be like, because I would never look at you and be like, you used to be 400 pounds.
That's so nice. It was a mind fuck. And then also my weight goes up and down. And so I like lost a bunch. And then when I became an alcoholic, I like gained, I would say like 100, maybe 150 back. And then I lost it again. I'm actually next month getting like skin surgery. And so I'm taking a month off from touring to do that done.
To tighten everything up.
I'm just getting my chest done right now. And I'm really excited about that because I've had this chest since I was like 13. So I'm like, cannot wait.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm getting new nipples. I told the
you are?
I told him, give me little porn star nipples, okay? I got big old blown out hubcap nipples right now. I want the little ones, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. But life is a lot easier. I'm excited to see what it feels like after the surgery because I think when you still have all of the skin, you're kind of like still not feeling sexy. You're like fine in clothes, but out of clothes, it's like still like we're dealing with a problem, know? So I'm excited to get that done.
Yeah, that's so cool. I feel like my second pregnancy with my son, you just get bigger the second time, but my stomach stretched so much. And this is insane because I know I'm very aware that I'm like a small person.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, oh, I need to lose weight or like, I don't think that. I just think my skin is not as tight as it used to be because I had this huge stretched out beach ball inside my stomach. And it does still make me feel like it's only I would notice it.
Yeah.
But it still is like a reminder of like, oh, I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Even though he's like 1.5 and almost 2, maybe.
I know skin stuff is
it's
so
weird.
tough.
It gets like stretchy. It's so weird.
I know.
It is like a constant reminder.
It is disgusting that we're in like meat suits.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Like, at a certain point,
disgusting.
I feel sick about it sometimes.
It's crazy.
I'm like, there's blood in my body. That's not right.
Yeah, no, I can't think about that. When people are like, want to talk about the body or like some surgery or something, I like actually feel like I'm going to have an out of body experience. I can't hear it. It like freaks me out. I'm like, oh, but I'm also somebody who can like get a surgery and be awake for it in the room as long as I'm
really.
not like
This is my first surgery. I'm like actually kind of nervous. I'm like I've never had. No, I'm gonna like leave with drains coming out of me. I'm like,
whoa.
I know it's like big time, and then I'm gonna go stay with my mom for a month and see.
That's nice.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be my first time off the road in like a year and a half.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be a nice break.
At least you're doing something major where you'll have stuff to write about.
I know, and I'm going to a place called Alpha Male Plastic Surgery, which is really humiliating to admit. I thought it was called male plastic surgery, and then I went to the website and it was like Alpha Male Plastic Surgery. I will say he's like the only guy who like specializes in men, so he does like really great work. So I'm like, whatever.
That is so funny. Alpha Male Plastic Surgery. I do feel like
plastic surgery is so expensive, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
They
really
don't talk
expensive.
about that.
No, I do feel like I wonder. So like when your body, you were already doing stand up. By the time you lost all this weight. So
I was doing stand-up when I was still big.
So then all your jokes had to change.
Yeah, but you know when you're doing stand-up in the beginning, it's like jokes change so fast because you're writing so many of them. Like I also have a very strange stand-up experience. How long have you been doing stand-up?
Like 9 years.
Yeah. So we're around the same. I'm about to hit 11. But I started when I was 21 and I'm from a really small town. My first open mic was like an hour away because there was no open mics in the Berkshires.
Oh, wow.
And so then people in my hometown heard that I started doing stand up, and my family's been there for 100 years, that bars and restaurants started booking me to do an hour. And so then I've been doing stand up for like 3 months. I'm like, not a problem. And so then I would bring my own amp and microphone to these bars and restaurants.
I love this.
And people who knew me would come, and then people who friends of friends would come. And so then I would go do an hour, no opener, I would bring myself on stage. I mean, like I had no idea of the culture. And then I just had like a notebook with like 60 bullet points that I would write differently every single time and be like, well, these all have to be at least 1 minute. I basically was doing like hot takes for an hour.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I did that for like 3 months, and then I kind of met some other stand-up comics, and there was like 5 of us in the Berkshires who were like all doing it, and they were like, "That's not what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I thought I'm doing stand-up. It's just me and my hour." I'm like 3 months in. I'm like, "What's up?"
I got an hour. I like that though. I feel like you found your own style because it's like if you started and you were doing it the way everybody else was doing from the very beginning, like it's so hard to like have your own voice and your own style.
Truly. Like the first time I did an open mic after all of that, it was like this guy, we were doing 8-minute sets, and no one had ever lit me before. I had never gotten the light before. And so I'm up there, I'm killing. I mean, I'm doing so well. It's crushing. The room's filled with people. And I get off stage and he's like, "Yeah, you're never allowed to come back." And I was like, "What? Why?" He goes, "You just did 20 minutes. And I go, "I did?" And he was like, "You were killing, but this is an 8-minute mic. You didn't see the light." And I go, "I thought you were taking pictures." Like, what are you talking about?
That's so funny. Also, that's why mics don't do well because they should have been like, "Come back whenever you want. This is if you're funny."
It was a monthly, and then the next he was like, literally the day before, he was like, "Come on by." And I was like,
That's amazing. I love that. That's so cool that they just started hosting you as a stand-up in the town at bars. I love that.
I remember doing wine bars. I remember actually, this is back to the East Pray Love thing. I did a wine bar like 2 towns over, and I had like left my notebook in there, and my notebook was filled with like jokes and then like a bunch of like Eat, Pray, Love, Brene Brown, like all the blonde spiritual women, all their stuff. And like my thoughts and that stuff. And I left after a show there, and I went back to go get it like 2 weeks later, and she was like, "Oh, here's your notebook." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." She goes, "I read every word." And then she looks at me and she goes, "It really helped me." And I thought, okay. I mean, give me my fucking notebook, freak.
She was at a restaurant. Wait,
she was the owner of the wine bar where I did a show where I had like my mic and my, And she was like, "I read every word." I go, "You read every word of my journal?"
What?
And then she goes, "It really helped me."
So you couldn't be mad at her because you were like, that is such a good way to read somebody's journal.
Yeah. It
like
really
the perfect
helped
line
me
to say because you can't be like, "You're invading my privacy."
Yeah. She's like, "I needed this. I really
will
needed
be
this."
reading my daughter's journal for the rest of her life and just saying, "It really helped me."
Yeah. But I used to hear that a lot from people. Like my mom's, I remember my mom's would be like, I love my mom, but like we have like a weird relationship where she'd be like at therapy and she'd be like, what does Dylan say? Like her therapist would be like, what does Dylan think? And I'd be like, oh, this is sick. Like your therapist should not be asking that.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I love his ideas, you know?
That's so funny. I feel like you've gone through so much in your life that you had to like figure all of this stuff out really young to be able to like pull yourself out and like
I've also never been in a real relationship, so I've never had a man like kind of draining everything out of me. So you know, so I think that's kind of the nice part about it as well.
Yeah. Well, maybe find a European man because I feel like it just seems different than like the
Yeah. Well, you know, I went to a psychic who predicted everything the last 2 years, like down to dates and like all of my career stuff. And she's in New Orleans and I don't know who she is. It was random. I can't give you her number. Sorry. I don't even know what shop it was called. But
that's so cool.
Literally to the point where it was like she predicted things. Like I had no following at this point, and she predicted my entire 2 years and like if I was a girl, success, all of it. She predicted all of it down to like the days. And she actually said that I'm not going to date anybody until I get really famous because the love of my life is really, really famous and I have to get there to meet him.
Okay.
And I love that.
I love that for you.
I want a really high profile relationship.
That's your type?
Well, I just want to experience that once.
Do you want to be like in Dumois?
Yeah.
You want to be right.
And I want to be like, guys, please respect my privacy. You know what I mean? I want to be like, and then I want us to like break up and me be like constantly asked about him and be like, I'm actually here to promote my movie, guys. Like,
That's so funny.
I'm not going to talk about him.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I love this for you. I'm going to keep my.
By the way, that's what I'm doing in my hotel room. I'm like on edibles, being like, no more pictures, guys. Like I'm so mental. You have no idea.
That is so funny. Do you think you'll ever move to LA?
No.
Or New York?
New York. I want to move to New York really badly. I'm just like, as I'm here, by the way, this is the first time I've been like, oh, I could live in LA, is being in your neighborhood.
Because it feels like you're not in LA.
Yeah. It's really beautiful over here.
Thanks.
I don't like, I love New York.
I love New York too.
And I love it. It's 2.5 hours away from the Berkshire. It'd be nice to be home.
That's nice. Yeah.
I'm just touring too much to move anywhere right now. I'm on the road every weekend.
To like take the time to like do that move.
Yeah. And like also then like explore a new city when I'm there 3-4 days a week. It feels like a lot right now.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Austin is not a bad place to be.
No, it's great. I convinced all my friends from back home to move down there, so it is. I now do have to stay.
I feel like we've convinced that you're not in LA, but there's like an east side and like a west side and like the valley. We're like, okay, if we move to this house, because we feel like we're east side people and we moved here and we feel a little like, oh, we're not like all these people. And they were like, we're just going to convince all of our friends from the east side to move over here. So that like.
You're together.
Yeah, we're just like making the east side over here. And we keep joking we want to make like a really cool bar where you have to show an old piece of mail that shows you used to live on the east side.
I love that.
To get in. Like a speakeasy with like like called East Siders. And like you have to show your zip code.
I would love to own a bar.
You would?
I think I would. Like a fun, maybe people perform at it. And then I'm always worried. I'm like, if we don't make rent this month, like we got to make the bar make money. Yeah, I'm always like, immediately I'm like, we're not making money at the bar. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could see you owning a bar.
Right? I think it'd be good.
I think also like that you don't drink anymore. Like you would be a really good bar owner.
Well, if you weren't in the entertainment industry, what would you be doing?
I used to say I either wanted to be an Olsen twin or an astronaut.
Okay, okay.
If I wasn't in the entertainment industry, I don't really know because maybe I'd be a lawyer.
No, we'd both be spin instructors.
I'd probably be a Pilates instructor.
Oh, yeah.
Or I feel like I could definitely be like an airbrush spray tan artist.
Oh, my God. See, that is good. I like that. Yeah. I like those videos. She's like, when is the wedding?
Yeah.
I really, so we're going to give you the clear. Have you seen that girl?
Yes,
She's amazing. She's like, okay, do you want your like normal, like summer tan? You kind of look like her, actually.
I have seen like I need to look up more of them because it sounds very familiar to me, but I don't know them like
she's so good at communicating exactly what she needs. She's like, so do you like brown or tan? Do you have like a red undertone? Yeah. And we're gonna give you the clear, okay? Bronzer, it's gonna wipe you out. There's gonna be a transfer over onto your wedding dress. By the way, I don't get spray tans. I watch every single episode.
My husband, I made him get my husband's mom is Italian, like grew up in Italy, and his dad is from Egypt, and he's like very like darker complexion.
Oh, my husband is pasty white. I like this so much more.
Pasty white.
Oh.
He's like northern Italian. But he's like very attractive, like very like, he's got like a very cool vibe, attractive. He is so white. My kids are so white and they're like strawberry blonde, like
Oh my God.
so pasty white, can't be in the sun. His parents have an apartment in Miami and that they go to in the winter. And we were in Miami at the apartment for a wedding and it was just my husband and my husband was working until like midnight on his laptop. And I was like, so I scheduled spray tans for both of us for this girl to come to the house. And I felt like I was like doing spray tans at my in-laws' place, when they're not there. It felt also sneaky. And this girl, it's Miami. She comes and she's like, I was like, okay, I just like to be like a little glowy, not too dark. I turn orange easily. And she goes, she was like very, where was she from? Like, I think it was called Incan tan. So it was definitely going to be like, and she goes, I only have one color, dark.
Down here in Miami, okay?
I was like, okay.
I only have one color, dark.
I was like, okay, spray me down in my in-laws' bathroom in your pop-up tent. She sprays me down.
Just leave your bottoms on.
I go out. Marco, my husband's sitting at his laptop. He looks at me and I was like, okay, it's your turn. Color, dark. And he's like, I'm not doing that. And I was like, yes, you are. I paid for it. Just go do it. I was like, it's funny. It's fun. Just do it.
It's funny. It's funny.
It's going to be fun. And so, English is not his first language, but you would never know. But occasionally he does make mistakes. Like he calls the dog's collar like a color. He's like, oh, the dress doesn't have his color on. I'm like, his collar, like occasional. But it's so like, you're like, what? Because you would never know. So we go in this little spray tan tent, like in the bathroom. It's his turn. And the lady's like, okay, talking to my husband, like, okay, do you have a tongue? Like she was trying to say thong, but she was calling it a tongue. So then Marco just started he's like, no, I don't have a tongue. And she's like, you don't have a tongue? And he's like, no, I don't like carry a tongue around with me. And the whole time I was like, it's a thong. It's a thong. But I'm watching the two of them fight over a tongue. And he's like, I'm not putting on a tongue. And she's like, just go naked then. And he's like, no. And like he pulled up his boxers and got spray tan.
The worst spray tan you probably get.
I was like, just shower like quickly and then it won't like get that dark. Meanwhile, he's in the middle of like, he was finishing grad school. So he was writing this thesis paper and he didn't shower until 5 a.m. or something. No. Marco's spray tan was like the VIP guest at the wedding. It was like the most talked about thing at the wedding. It was like so good that all the other guys were trying to be like, should we get a spray tan? This is so funny and fun. I was like, see, funny and fun.
Yeah, that's so, go naked. No. But it was good. It looked good.
It did look good. It was dark, but it looked good.
Yeah,
it was the one color.
One color dark.
Yeah. It was so good. It was so funny. Okay, so you're here for a week.
I'm here for a week.
You're back on the road, or are you done?
Oh my God, I also, no, I am back on the road.
Okay.
Sorry, I was going to say, I should also say, very exciting, LA, the good thing about it, met Demi Lovato on my flight here. Yeah, she waved me down, was like, love your videos. I was like,
no, yeah. That's so
Isn't that cool?
That's a good one.
I know, it really is. I'm like excited. Okay.
That's a really good one. Oh, was she in first class?
Yeah, so was I.
Okay, I feel like everybody needed to know that.
Yeah. By the way, I am 6'5", if you can't tell, and I have never had money in my entire life. I still drive a 2003 Ford Escape, and I live with a lesbian couple, and my rent in Austin is $700. I waste money on first class every single flight.
I think that's what you got to do. It's like you got to pay for the things that you like for comfort.
Also, I am on a plane every 3 days, and I have been for the last 8 months. So I'm like,
Do you get more miles if you buy a first class ticket? It doesn't work like that. No.
I can I tell you something. I'm like really, I have so many miles. I don't know how much is a lot, but I'm like, is 300,000 a lot? Like, I'm like that. It's I'm like, that's what I got.
Yeah, you got a lot.
350 maybe.
You got a lot.
Yeah. I don't know how the miles work. I actually don't know how to book with miles. So I'm just like racking them up. I don't know if you're supposed to, I think the miles are a scam. I'm going to be honest. I think the miles are a scam.
I book a lot of flights with miles.
Okay. Really? How many miles do you have? Millions?
Well, I feel like we always go to Europe for free with miles every summer.
Oh my God. I need to go to Europe. I've only been to Aruba.
Well, you definitely have enough miles. So I feel like you can go.
Okay.
I went to Aruba
now I'm
when
nervous.
You're nervous to go to Europe?
I'm looking at my miles like a really good outfit. Like it's like you don't want to blow it on like a bad event. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to use the miles, like it has to be for something good. I think I want it for like a vacation.
I feel like if you use the miles, you need to get in one of those like lay down pod flights. Like you need to give yourself something that like is so outrageous with your miles just to experience like a luxury that you haven't had.
I want to be so
Have you
rich
had that
that I'm
already?
like, no.
Okay.
I want to be so rich though that I'm like, I only do lay flat. New York to LA lay flat, $10,000.
It's so funny because I'm like a tiny person and I'm always like, what's the big deal about sitting in the back? And my husband's like, because you're 5'1".
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, this is a waste of money to upgrade to first class or something. And I'm like, but I can literally sleep in the seat perfectly.
Oh, so if I was someone who was like, I cannot sleep on the plane unless once I turned to first class, I'm like, I sleep on every flight now. And I could not sleep beforehand.
Well, that's good. You deserve it.
Wait, what was the question though?
Oh, I was going to say, is there anything that you want to like plug? Anything like you have your own podcast?
Yes, I have a podcast called Feeling Girly where girls write in for advice. And basically if you like this, my podcast is basically like, did I suck off anybody on the road? And like telling girls to break up with their boyfriends. Like that's the whole podcast. It's called Feeling Girly.
Have you ever been like, stay with that guy?
Sometimes I'll be like, you're being a bitch.
Okay.
And he does seem like a good guy. But I mean, very rarely.
Okay.
Very rarely. It's like, sometimes I'm like, you can stay with him, but like things need to change.
I want to write in and just anonymously see what advice I get.
I make them send pictures. Because I like to see. And sometimes, it's really bad. Sometimes they'll write in about this really awful guy. And I'm like, he sucks. And I see a picture of him and I go like, he is hot though. I'm like, you should leave him, but like he is really hot.
You're like, this is not Love is Blind. We need to know like what the match is. And
can I say something? It makes a difference.
It does.
Seeing what people look like, you go like, I can give you advice. And also it's like a vibe thing.
Yeah, it is a vibe thing.
Because sometimes girls are like, he's the love of my life. Sends a picture, ugliest man I've ever seen in my entire life. I go, the love of your life isn't hideous. I can promise you that.
And that's going to make anyone feel good.
Yeah.
Even if they have to break up with their fiance. Right? Well, I love that. That's so fun. Okay. And then you're on the road.
I'm on the road.
And then you're off for a month and then you'll be back.
And I'll be back for the rest of the year.
Great.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, if you can see him, you should go because you're so funny.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming, actually.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You can move in. Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing this. It was so fun. Bye, guys. Oh, wait. Where can people find you?
Dylan P. Carlino on all platforms.
Okay. Great.
Love it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.